Hey, random people out there on the internet. Been a couple of days since I've been able to put out a video. Today's video, I want to get back to making my project, which was the Native American bead loom for Winona. So I've already cut some pieces and glued them together. I did that in a previous video. But today we need to go ahead and flatten that board out and make it nice and smooth. So we're going to do that with a planer. We'll get to that in a minute. First, let's take a look at our board and see what we got going here. So this is our board, and it's mismatched just a little bit right there, a little bit right here. You know, it needs to be taken down a little bit so that it's nice and smooth all the way across. Got that hickey down here. I was talking about I was going to cut it off, but I think I'm going to just try to plane it down. It's a pretty thick board, so I think it'll still have enough meat that it'll make a good base for the loom that I'm making. You may see that it looks like somebody's drawn graffiti on here. Well, basically what I did is I went ahead and used a carpenter pencil. I put lines all along this. So as we plane it, as these lines disappear, we'll know whether or not it's planing the whole board or just part of it. And we're going to see all that. I'm also going to use a planing sled. I did a previous video some weeks back about I've got two planer sleds that I've been using, and I've chosen to use the larger of the two, which is right here. Planer sled is so simple. Basically, you got a block glued on it, and it's completely flat. That's very important because we're going to use this as a reference surface for the board that we're planing down. So I'm going to stick that on there. We're going to look at something else. Alright, so we know that this board is fairly flat. So if this one is rocking, that means that there's something not quite kosher going on here. And when we send it through the planer, it's just going to duplicate that unless we use some shims to keep that part that's rocking from rocking. So we'll look here first, and it's rocking just a little bit. And I've got a bunch of these cut off shims I've got laying around. I'm going to shove one up under there like that there and check it again. Now it's not rocking. What's going on down here? It's got a pretty good little rock going on down here, so we're going to put a couple of shims in down here. When we're done, we want to make sure that this board isn't rocking at all. That's pretty dadgum close. We'll send it through there block first so that the rollers in the planer are going to catch it and pull it in. If we did it the other way, it'll pull the board right off of the sled. So before we carry it out there, let's go take a look at that planer and see how that works. So this is my DEWalt 735 planer. It's probably the most common planer out there, and for the price and size and being benchtop model, it's probably about the best you're going to get. Now when I say it's not as expensive as some others, it isn't cheap. It's probably about $550. It has straight blades in it. I would love helical blades, but I can't afford them right now. If one of y'all wants to buy me helical blades, in any event. So let's talk about it for a minute. This is your end feed. And then you have a speed control here. It tells you in the manual, never move the speed control unless it's running. Typically, I keep it on the low speed anyway because I want the board to feed through there nice and slow and try to get the best cut I can get. On and off switch. Then over here, what's nice about the 735 is that you don't need a vacuum cleaner or a dust collector. It has a blower in here that blows the chips out really fast. So they'll go out here, and then I've rigged up my trash can for a collection. I've got an end feed that kind of does some spiral going on, and then a bag to catch any chips that want to fly up. I actually had to weight it down because the blower is so strong it will blow the lid right off the garbage can. So that's something to keep in mind. We're also going to talk about snipe a little bit, and if you're not familiar with that, planers are notorious about planing the very ends of a board, both the front and the back, just a little deeper than they do the rest of the board, which gives you just a little concaves down on the end. There are a number of videos out there about how to mitigate it or prevent it. I'm going to try to prevent it a little bit, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to pick up a little bit of the end of the board as it feeds in, because what happens is that as soon as the wood passes the rollers, there's a roller here and a roller here. When it passes the roller, it pushes it down a little bit, and then the blades will engage deeper at that point until it gets to the other roller when it comes back up. So we're going to see all that. So let me go get my board and my sled, and we're going to pass it through here. All right, with my headphones on, this thing is loud, loud, loud. So we're going to go ahead and pass it through the first time. I didn't show you something, so you need to look here and take a look. This is your removal gauge or depth gauge, and ideally you want it to be just a little bit, okay? If you have it too much, you're going to get a pretty nasty little cut. So you want to take off just a little bit at a time. So let's make that first pass. going to go in the other room and take a look at it and see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got here. All right, so I talked about snipe earlier, and if you look close enough, you can see a fine line right here going across that board. And if you could feel it, you can feel just a little bit of a bump right there. It's a smooth bump, but it's a bump nonetheless. All right, and then down on the other end, it's a little bit more pronounced, but there's also snipe going on here. Now, I may or may not be able to get all the snipe out of it, but what I will be doing is that once I get it planed down to where I want it, I'll go ahead and sand it and try to sand that snipe a little bit just to make it look better. It's not really a big deal to me, but a lot of people, you know, make a big fuss about snipe. Also, you can see that almost all of my pencil lines are gone. All right, where they're not gone, here, here, and of course here, that means that the blades haven't yet engaged those particular areas, so this board has not been planed down completely. I'll have to pass it through several times because of this hickey that's going on down here. I'll need to take off almost 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to do most of that off camera, okay? Since you've seen what I'm doing, there's no sense in continuing to just keep passing the board through and making all that noise for this video. I'm going to go ahead and pencil it again. And once it passes through the planer and all the pencil marks disappear at the same time, then we know that this is almost perfectly flat. But what we did get though is we've already eliminated the little difference that was on the board here. You can barely feel the seam in these two pieces of wood. So we're really close to having that taken care of. Now we just need to work on this. So like I said, that's going to be kind of a time-consuming thing, and I don't want to sit here and blow you guys' ears out planing this through again and again. So we'll be back after I plane this side down. We'll flip it over and we'll take a look at what's going on behind the board on the other side.